Let me rephrase. I'm a political reformer. I like to be called a political reformer. And I'm a serving senator. The fact that I'm suspended illegally does not remove my legitimacy as a senator. I remain a senator. And at every gathering, I owe my people a duty to educate them on politics and their expectations with regards to the situations we face, which was the recall. Mind you, ever since should I say, crisis or challenges started, I've not had a chance to explain to them. So, I mean, there was no law broken, and I don't think the state governor has the right to dictate what I speak and how I communicate to my people and determine the nature of our conversations.
For a moment,
that's wrong.
I'm not sure you have any grievance or any issues with Governor Ododo. I think both of you are cool, isn't it?
Well, to a large extent, I thought we were cool until he took heed of ex-governor Yahaya Bello's request, which was to align with my recall. I was actually surprised at that. And if you watched my speech at my hometown, I did mention that the Senate President, Akpabio, first called on Governor Ododo to commence my recall, but he turned that down. And later on, 2 days after, on the 14th day of March, 2025 this year, Akpabio called on Yahaya Bello to commence my recall. And what did Yahaya Bello do? He tasked Ododo, and Ododo could not say no. So he went on. The petitions, the primary petitioners, the 14 of them that submitted the first cover letter, were all signed by special advisors to Ododo himself.
So
they were all APCs.
You think you're inferring that the governor may have had a hand in your
recall? Has a hand. He gave approval. They're all his staff. All of them. Governor Ododo is the APC leader in the state. And for about 4 of the signatures there, the primary signatures supporting the first petition, the cover letter, were all his staff.
Let me
They're
ask
all
you.
his aides.
You said the Senate President, Akpabio, allegedly, according to you, called Governor Ododo, called Yahaya Bello, but you were not there when these calls came. And those who say it is spurious as far as if you cannot have or lay evidence on the call log, on the moment they call, and you were not in the room when the call was being placed.
You know, there's nothing that happens around the Senate that one does not get to know, either immediately or the day after,
even
or
if
shortly
they lie
after.
To you?
No, you have a way of verifying. I don't deal with just rumors. I make sure I verify. And I do have my primary sources. And the moment I got to know about it, it was actually about 10 p.m. So when Senator Asukwo drove him from Hilton Hotel to Akpabio's residence. And that's where the meeting held. And immediately after that, I called on the press. I'm not sure if I called you, but I know I spoke to the correspondent from about 3 newspapers, Guardian, Punch, and others. And I told them, even Premium Times, I think, and I was like, look, this is it. There's a plan to recall me. Why don't you put it out there? And they asked, where is the evidence? Of course, I didn't have any evidence, but it did happen. So shortly after, when the process started, they called on me. I said, oh, Sen Natasha, you actually told us. I was like, I did tell you. I wanted you to blow it up, because one thing about Nigeria is sometimes when you put out information and preempt them, they get to pull back. But again, the danger there is they could sue the media houses. Like, it will almost amount to hearsay or rumor that they went ahead to publish. So I do respect the publishing homes for not going out with that story, because it could have been dangerous, and counterproductive to their image. But I tell you, everything I speak about, I'm a lawyer, I'm a senator, and I understand how Nigeria works. And for me, the most important thing is this recall process has been stalled. And I give kudos and credit to INEC, even though I believe they should have thrown it away from the first on the first go. I think it was void ab initio, because listen to what the gentleman said, that there is no law in the Electoral Act that says that a petition should be discarded just because there is no address. But again, what if the address is false? Because the address provided there is number 4, Oboroke, Kogi State. I bet you there's no address like that. Oboroke is just 5 minutes away from me, and I did send people there. There is no address. Most of the streets in my hometown, they are not labeled. So the question to INEC is, what if the address is fake? And again, the cover letter of the petition was Kogi Central Political Frontier. And we ran a check with CAC, and that does not exist again. So the question to INEC is, can a non-registered body sponsor a petition against a senator? I think these are loopholes that INEC needs to look into and probably strengthen the laws in that, because I think it should have been discarded on the first go. But again, what I'm going to say is, even though INEC did count 208 signatures, I bet you if they had gone into the second stage, or is it the third stage?
The verification stage.
The verification stage, they would have struggled to even have 500 people come out to attest to sign.
Well, you aware?
What was the phishing issues?
The issue, the arrest that happened, and according to the state government, that some people were attacked and there were issues relating to insecurity in that part.
If it happened in the last 1 month, then pardon me, like I said, I tried to stay away from a lot of negative news. I cared a lot about my mental health, and I needed to channel a lot of energy to focus on the issues that concerned myself and my constituents at that time. I'm sorry if it sounds a bit selfish, but I was just away from a whole lot. So back to this, if that happened, I'm so sorry. I think now that I've gotten a bit more breather, I will look at and see how I can intervene and lend my voice to curbing the vices. But now back on that, I had seen the prohibition of fishing activities and water activities, and the ban of convoys into, and also a list of checkpoints that were suddenly propped up, you know, barring entrance into my senatorial district, that is Ibilo to Kogi, Auchi into Okene, Abuja, Lokoja, Okene Road, Akure, Ikare, exits into, like all the roads were barricaded. And I knew that, okay, there was going to be trouble. So my husband was like, you know what, we can actually get a helicopter to land us right into our compound, because we do own the land opposite our village home, and that's how we got in. And I think with that move, we broke no law, and the people gathered right in my compound. The road you see us walking through, I constructed that road, so that's not the government road or facility, so I broke no law. I'm a good citizen of Nigeria, a law-abiding one at that. I'm sure you can attest to me.
So now, the big question here is, part of the ban, or part of the governor's order is there should not be any kind of gathering, public gathering. But the government has said that is a public gathering. Any gathering that's more than 2, 3, 4, 5 people, that doesn't look like a Salah celebration of any sort.
Well, that's a private gathering. It depends on the popularity of the individual. That's how my people gather for me every time I'm home. So that's it. I don't know what his definition of public gathering is, but to me, that's not a public space. That's not a community hall. That's my compound. The whole area you see there, it's owned by me. And that's where people gathered. And that's what I usually have.
You're not worried about the threats that the government says could happen? The threat of the insecurity threat. Are you not bothered about that?
My people are very peaceful, and I've always preached peace. Let me say this. Everyone knows that the Bira person, we are very assertive. We're so assertive that it might come up as if we are stubborn, but we aren't. We do not like being cheated. And I tell you, it took a whole lot for me to speak calm to my people in the past 1 month so that they will not react to my suspension or to the harassment claim, because they were very upset when I came up on Arise Then to narrate the challenges I had to face in the Senate the past 1 year. So that ordinarily created a lot of anger in the minds of an average Ibera person. And if you know us, we are typically the fire. If we are to align us to an element, I would say we are the firebrand. We just boom up. So I had to preach calm to them. I've told them to be law-abiding citizens, not to take law into their hands. And believe me, if you know the history of my people, you actually appreciate the fact that they have remained peaceful. What we saw there, like I said, there was a lot of dancing, there was celebration. We ate And we danced and we chatted to ourselves. And the next day, which was yesterday, I had an empowerment program, which we did some trainings for citizens, for indigents in welding and carpentry. And then I also flagged off the groundbreaking ceremony of the maternity and child care center, which I was constructing. So it was pretty much peaceful. There was no violence, there was no fighting, no shouting, nothing. So,
except that it became political when you started speaking.
I'm a politician. Let me rephrase. I'm a political reformer. I like to be called a political reformer. And I'm a serving senator. The fact that I'm suspended